You too. Everything ain't all peaches and cream out here. It ain't all positive out here. Tell y'all what happened. I know I'll be prepared for everything. Keep my express bag up top. Plenty of money in it. I might need an airplane ticket. You never know. Tell y'all what happened. I picked this load up in Arizona, right? Phoenix, Arizona. That was right after I left that hotel. Now this load got 3 stops. Okay. Now yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I was up in California, right? Because I was at the Walmart yesterday. I think they took off about 10 pallets. Now in total, this load got about 22 pallets on. So they took off about 10 pallets. So the only thing that was left after I left California, basically they took off the whole back end of the trailer. So from the middle of the trailer to the front of the trailer is what's still left on here. Alright. So after I left that Walmart, you know, I go back here, I put my load lots back on. Because, you know, Walmart, when they take your load lots off, they just put them on the side. I come up here to this Walmart the very next day, which is today. I had to deliver at 3 in the morning. Alright. Pull up to the guard shack, they check the temperature, you know, things like that. Everything is all good. Now, Walmart, what they tell you to do, they tell you, you know, they give you that door 7, they gave me that door 2. They said, go to that door 2, open your trailer doors, back in, disconnect from your trailer, check your wheels. All right, cool. I go back out, line up for door 2, I bad back, get out to open my doors. Oh man, pop that seal off. You know, I'm smiling because I'm about to get paid. I already hit my little detention button, right? Because I'm thinking, you know, this Walmart, I already know I'm about to make at least $50 to be in this sleeper berth while I edit videos. That's what I was thinking. I opened my doors, man, I couldn't believe it. First I opened the doors, right? I looked, and I'm like, nah, this can't be real. I closed the door back, and then I was like, all right, because it was so dark, it wasn't no light. You can't really see deep up in the trailer. But see, when I opened the door, it was like the shit was falling out. All the little cantaloupes was falling out. Like, what the hell is all this? I opened the door back up. Got my little phone flashlight flashes back in. I was like, oh hell no, this shit is a total disaster. I closed the door back up right quick. I ran up, jumped in my little tractor, right? Because the first thing I was thinking, I was like, I hope none of these other truckers seen this shit. Cause you know, when you delivering to Walmart, you ain't the only person there. You know, all the dot doors are already filled up. And so I'm like, oh man, I hope nobody saw this shit. I jumped in, right? And I just bagged on up to the door. I ain't bump it, but I just bagged up. And then I was like, oh man, what the fuck am I finna do with this? I don't know what to do. So I called my friend, 3 in the morning. I called him, I was like, hey man, look, this is what happened. This is what I think happened. I said, everything in my trailer is on the floor. I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know how I got on the floor. I had my load lots. I didn't see the load lots. They wasn't on the wall no more. I don't know what to do. And then he was like, well, where you at? I said, I'm at Walmart. He said, well, this what I would do. He said, hurry up, jump back up. He said, just pick all this shit up right quick and you know, stack it back up and then back up to the door. I was like, oh man, that's a good idea, ain't it? So I go back out, I jump in the trailer, and then finally I walk all the way in the back and flashlight. I'm like, oh my God, this shit is unfixable. I'm talking about the whole wall is on the floor. It looked like the whole trailer had been rolled over. So I called him back. I said, man, you know what? This is guaranteed bad right here. This shit is equivalent to crashing the truck. This shit right here, this is equivalent to basically rolling your truck over. You know, you roll your truck over, you're fired. You crash the truck, you're fired. You fuck the load up, you're fired. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. So I called him back. I said, you know what? I said, it's an airport. I said the airport is like 10 minutes away because I'm over here in Utah, Salt Lake City. So, you know, they got the little Salt Lake City International Airport, right? I said, you know what, if I do this? What if I just leave this Walmart right now? Because it's 3 in the morning, it's Sunday, right? So, you know, night, they ain't working today. Well, I mean, they got overnight dispatch and stuff. I said, you know what, if I just take the truck, go to the airport, you know what I'm saying, just leave the keys in here and just fly home. Because if they fire me, I got to fire my way home, you know what I'm saying? He said, nah, hell nah, man, this what you do. Got a text message. He said, this what you do. He said, just go ahead back on up to the door because you already there. He said, if you try to leave Walmart, you're gonna have to open your doors for the security. They're gonna have to check to make sure, you know, that your stuff got out. Plus, you gotta have a little like a little gate sheet to get up out of there. I was like, man, you so do, don't you? So I back in. I go to Walmart, and I just went on and told them, I said, hey, it looked like the load tipped over. You might want to check it out. It don't look too good. And they said, all right, we'll check it out. So I get back in my trailer. Well, first they asked me for my phone number, because, you know, they call you at the Walmart. Come back out to my truck. I'm over here thinking. I'm like, oh, man, this is real bad. They finally called me. They called me within 5 minutes. They said, hey, our manager really want to talk to you. I said, I bet he do. I bet he do. Oh, my God. This is, oh, shit. I go in there. Man, they weren't happy. The manager said, all right, we got 2 options for you. Option A, we can reject the whole thing and you can get off our property. Or option B, you can come back here. You can come in here and you can unload all this yourself, and then we'll receive what didn't touch the floor. And I was like, all right, you know what, I go ahead and unload it, because, you know, I used to work at FedEx, so I got 2 years experience unloading trailers, so it ain't nothing for me to pick up the boxes. Man, I spent 13 hours in this motherfucker from 3 a.m. to, I probably got up out of there probably like 10 p.m. Not 10 p.m., 10 a.m., somewhere around there, man. I was in there forever. I took a whole 10-hour breakdown. So we finally got it all unloaded. And apparently it wasn't as much damage as I thought. They was only taking out 5 pallets, and out of the 5 pallets they only rejected 3. So they took 2 pallets and they rejected 3. And I got another stop that I'm finna head to right now. Luckily, the stop that I got to after this, they stuff wasn't damaged. So I'm going to another Walmart after this. So now what Walmart did do for me, because I was trying to, I think my camera finna cut off. I ain't got that much time on here. What Walmart did do for me, because my load lots had all broke, so I ain't got no load lots. I was trying to explain to the manager when it was time for me to go. I was like, hey, I can't leave because I ain't got no load lots. As soon as I pull off, you know, the next Walmart shit gonna fall. They was like, don't worry, we got you. They gave me 5 load lots. We locked that shit up. I'm finna actually go back here, because I'm at a truck stop right now. I'm finna go back here. I'm finna double check it. I might need to go up in here and buy 5 more, because this shit ain't flipping over. This ain't gonna happen again. This is a one-time thing. Like when I lock my keys up in the truck, it's a one-time thing. You know, once some shit like this happen to you, it ain't gonna happen again. You gonna make sure of it, because you know, I know next time. Now why it fell over, I have no idea. I have no idea, because it didn't fall over on the first stop I had. Didn't happen to it. But it looked like, I don't know if it was too much weight and the load lots gave up. I don't know what happened, but it was a total disaster. But look, I checked this out. Because you know you got to call the claims department, little safety. I called safety. You know, I'm over here, you know, sweating, because I don't know what they're finna say. I'm thinking the worst finna happen. You know, I'm thinking I'm finna have to grab my express bag and call me a taxi. Let's go and get over to this airport. I called safety. I tell them, hey, I got some damaged products. What I need to do? The guy was all nice. He like, oh, it's no problem. What's the item number? I was like, what's the item number? I grabbed my little sheet. You know, Walmart always give you a little checkout sheet. I grabbed my little sheet. I give him the item number. He said, okay, cool. How many pallets? Tell him it was 3 pallets. And he said, was the temperature good? I said, yeah, the temperature was good. It was 50 degrees. He said, how many pieces was it? It was 273 cantaloupes out of 540. He said, all right, no problem. I'm gonna give you an exception number. And he said what they gonna do is, because Walmart put all the damaged product back on my truck, he said we're just gonna call a local farm and we're gonna give you some instructions. That's why I'm waiting right here. I'm waiting for instructions. They called the local farms around here to see who want this cantaloupe. Maybe they could feed them to the animals or something. And that was it. They didn't even ask me, like, he didn't even want to know what happened. He didn't even want to know what happened. I thought I was going to tell him. I thought I was going to try to explain how the trailer tipped over. But that is the reality of what can happen. Remember I told you, anytime somebody bagging up, they doing a little alley dock around, you got to pay attention in case they hit your truck. But this is the reality of truck driving. You never know what's going to happen out here. Now, I could have came on here and told you how positive it was, you know, but I ain't going to do that. Y'all have a good day.